everyone, JSD Cool here, and welcome to another episode of Coolcraft Season 5. In the last episode, I built the giant building that is surrounding this platform here on the Mushroom Island, which, if you want to know more about, watch the last episode. That's why I said in the last episode. In this episode, I am going to be building yet another farm, which will be a gigantic wheat farm skyscraper type thing out in the world, and then later we'll come back and build the smokestacks around the super smelter here. I've already connected all the resources that I'm going to need to build this, so we're near the rail system. Let's get into a time lapse. And the build is done, but that is not the end of what we are doing today. As, while I may have finished building this thing up, I don't have any villagers in here, which is, kind of an issue for a villager-powered farm. Now, there are a couple ways that I'm foreseeing to get villagers in here. First of all, there is a village right off over here, which might have enough villagers if I pillage every single one of them, hoping that none of them die or anything along the way. But I'd have to get them all the way over here. The next option, which is probably closer to what I'm going to do, is build a nether portal here that links to the roof of the nether, and just transport villagers from my base to here, and then figure out how to drop the villagers into various things. So I think I'm going to get doing that. Alright, I have finished the preparations to put in the villagers, and as you can see, it involved placing in this kind of tube thing down the side of the tower here. And the way this is going to work is I'll bring a villager through this portal here. They'll then somehow be coaxed over here. We'll drop down, eventually landing on a waterlogged slab. Well, right here, I don't think it needs to technically be waterlogged, or whatever. And then from there, I will somehow, and I'm actually not too sure how I'm going to do this, push them in here. Although, actually, in theory, they'll just be attracted to the workstation. And then I can drop in behind them, block up the hole, get rid of this slab, and then we're ready for the next one down. And so, yeah, now I just gotta actually get the villagers in here. Villagers have been put in, and man, I think I've uncovered a bug. If a villager is standing in another portal and refusing to move, it will kill your game's performance, apparently. Server side, that is. Anyhow, now that all these villagers are in, the only other thing left to do specifically here would be put in all the minecart hoppers. And then we just gotta wait here for like 8 hours, and then the farm should be fully functional. Obviously, I don't have any sort of storage hooked up yet, but we'll get to that. Okay, so I've just AFK'd overnight, and it seems to be largely working. However, I am a little concerned that there are carrots. I guess I didn't think that those villagers would have had something in their inventories, which I guess they would. But yeah, there are carrots here, which isn't good. But other than that, the farm seems to be working. And mind you, this is within the last 5 minutes. What's popped out of the farm, minus the skeleton parts. That was an actual skeleton. I may have to do a little bit of carrot extinguishing, but besides that, it looks like it's working well. I have taken care of that carrot situation. Now, believe it or not, it was actually a single villager that had done carrots, and they turned their entire farm into carrots. I don't remember which villager it was. But it was one singular villager who turned their entire farm into carrots. And they had, like, over 2 stacks of carrots, so I had to, like, sit by them for a while, wait for them to plant a bunch of carrots, break them, or remove them, and then wait for them to place more until they ran out. Which eventually they did. So, now we should be producing 100% wheat. Although, as evidently, it's been nighttime recently, and none's been falling. But, that brings us on to, I guess, what we need to do next, which is, actually, well, getting started with the storage. I'm not yet expanding that, because first I need to make sure that, oh, here's some. Only wheat is coming in the output, because you see there's bone meal, and there will also be seeds. I did not plan that. That was very well done. It's going to come out here. And we only want to take the wheat, because obviously we don't need the other things. We have better farms for those things. Or actually, I guess we don't have a farm for the seeds, and that would be this, but we don't need seeds. A wheat extraction system has been set up here, and as you can see, there's a bunch of garbage that I've thrown in the ground here. But yeah, items produced in this farm will now be whisked into this water stream, and wheat will be sorted out here and plopped into this little side output here, where everything else can just wait until it despawns here. Shouldn't be all that much stuff, and there's going to be probably mostly bone meal, as I think that's where most of the seeds end up going to. There are some in here, though. But, yes, now it is time that we can actually get working on the extension to the rail system here. Railway extension has been installed, as well as the tube that transports the wheat over here. Obviously not going to put in a minecart for a little while here, as this is an active farm. I still have to light the portals, put in the minecarts, and of course do the nether side, which is what I'm going to go and do now. The nether side has been installed. Storage has been created and configured for the new farm, and also I've added some modules which will be used in the next episode for what we're doing then. But anyway, now that everything is in theory completed for this farm and its storage system. Oh yeah, I left that uncapped so I go wee. Can now place in the final minecart, and now this thing is ready to start automatically serving stuff. So that is this thing completed for this episode. And now next up, revenge. So as you may remember in the last episode, I received a bit of a prank from Tyler here, where he, spammed a bunch of buttons all over my base, and I don't think he's removed them. But now the time has come for me to have my revenge. Although, admittedly, this area here is a little bit half slab, so it's a little bit challenging for me to do stuff there. But down here, there's no slabs, and of course, there's also no slabs out. Down, I mean, I guess there are down here, but down here there aren't. So yes, there is quite the canvas for a bit of prankery to go down. Alright, I feel like this room has had enough buttons placed in it. Now let's move on to the rest of the base. You know, the great thing about using carpets is that sometimes they get stacked too tall, in which case they're extra annoying. And even 3 tall, why not? You know, also they can be placed on the slabbing that happened over here, so that's also a bonus. Alright, I'm finished placing all the stuff in Tyler's base, and that took a while, but 9 shulker boxes worth of random garbage have been scattered around in some annoying and some less annoying places, in the rooms, on the grounds, in the walls, on the ceilings, all of that stuff. So now all that's left to do is leave a little bit of a note for Tyler. So I just gotta get a lectern, write a little bit of a book, and we'll be done here. Alright, so here is what I've written out for Tyler to see. So there is 4 shulker boxes stone buttons, 2 shulkers of iron pressure plates, 2 shulkers of light gray carpet, 1 shulker of crying obsidian. If you collect all of that, you may get a prize. Complaining to anyone about this will disqualify you from getting a prize. Complaining about any spelling mistakes will do the same. I hope that is very helpful for him in removing all the stuff from his base. The next thing that I'm going to do today in this episode is build the smokestacks that I promised we'd build in the last episode here at the factory. In this corner above the super smelter ish here, so let's start doing that. I've made a bit of a start on the first one here, and I think I definitely made the base too wide, but oh well, we're rolling with it now. As you can see, it'll slowly be tapering in as it gets taller and taller and taller, and by the looks of things, it's going to get very tall until it's fairly thin at the top, where we'll finally end it off. But first stack has been completed, and it looks interesting, but sure, if it's a style, we're just going to go with it. And build the second one, like, right next to it. Probably could have been taller and thinner. The second tower has been completed. And by tower, I of course mean smokestacks. Anyhow, with that being said, I'm gonna have to say thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Check out my game, which is linked in the description. And I will see you all in the next episode of Coolcraft Season 5. Bye!